There you go. There we go. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, we're back.
Thanks, everybody. Welcome. Whoa.
You know, seriously though, like the thing I don't like about Red Dead 2 is the fact that I can't shoot the kids.
Why do you want to murder kids?
Because I want to murder like everybody in that game. Like as soon as I got a gun, I was like, it's done. And I think I've killed like 400 people and just random people on the road. Yeah, like the meter for me is like all the way
to the red.
To the red. I got like $50 for a bar of gold.
That's literally the Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. Shooting kids.
Well, speaking of shooting kids.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Matt McCormick here on the set of The Take. I'm with the two favorite people that I hate the most in the world, Horatiu Zglimbea and Aidan Schieber. Schieber. We're here today to talk about In Bruges.
Is that how you pronounce it?
In Bruges.
Not in Bruges?
In Bruges.
In Bruges.
They're in Bruges, Belgium.
In Bruges?
Bruges.
Brussels?
Bruges.
Oh.
Not Bruges, Bruges.
Got it. Bruges.
Bruges. You guys ready?
You
theme song! Welcome back from that fake news break to The Take. We're here today reviewing In Bruges. If you've never heard of In Bruges, here's a clip for you.
Harry, swear not to start shooting until she's left the hotel.
I swear not to start shooting until she's left the hotel. I totally swear.
Well, I'm not going anywhere. This is my hotel. So you can off.
I suppose you got a gun up there.
Yeah.
Well, what are we going to do? We can't stand here all night.
Why don't you both put your guns down and go home?
Don't be stupid. This is the shootout.
Harry, I've got an idea.
What?
My room faces onto the canal, right? I'm going to go back to my room, jump into the canal, and see if I can swim to the other side and escape.
Right.
If you go outside and round the corner, you can shoot at me from there and try and get me. That way we leave this lady and her baby out of the whole entire thing.
You completely promised to jump in the canal. I don't want to run out there, come back in 10 minutes and find you hiding in a cupboard.
I completely promise, Harry. I'm not going to risk having another little kid die, am I?
So, hang on, I go outside, then I go which way, right or left?
You go right, don't you? You can see it from the doorway. It's a big canal.
All right, Jesus, I've only just got here, haven't I? Okay, on the count of 1, 2, 3, go, okay?
Okay. What? Who says it?
Oh, you say it.
You guys are crazy.
Hey, ready?
Ready?
Set?
Set.
1, 2, 3, go!
Welcome back to The Take. As we said in the intro, today we're reviewing In Bruges, a 2008 crime dark comedy directed by Martin McDonagh. After this, he went on and did 7 Psychopaths and 3 Billboards, so he's had quite the career. This movie stars Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. You will know him as the stereotypical Irish guy. He's literally that in everything. He's a priest, Mad-Eye Moody. If it's a movie with British accents, he's probably in it.
Is he the father to Domhnall Gleeson?
Is he?
Edit break.
Fact check. Yeah, it's totally his dad.
Is it? Oh, wow.
Totally is the father of Domhnall Gleeson.
Yeah, they're both real ugly, so it makes sense.
Wow.
You can really see the family resemblance. And redheaded Irish.
All right, you Slavic. Here's the plot synopsis from IMDB. Guilt-stricken after a job gone wrong, hitman Ray and his partner await orders from their ruthless boss in Bruges, Belgium, the last place in the world Ray wants to be. All right, guys, what'd you think of this in 15 seconds? Aidan, go!
Definitely not my cup of tea, but you can definitely tell it was a really good movie. The dark comedy in the movie worked out very well. Both Colin Farrell and the Domhnall Gleeson father dude gave really good performances, and yeah, I just enjoyed it.
Well, you cut it real close.
But I succeeded.
Go Horatiu!
You could tell that this movie was a good movie. The script was great. The acting was great. I wasn't in the mood for it when I saw it, and it reminded me of movies like Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, that kind of vibe. But overall, probably a good movie.
Time! I have to agree with you. I did
Yeah.
think it was a great movie. I also wasn't really in the mood to watch it when I saw it. It reminded me a lot of like those 90s crime movies where you don't see a whole lot of crime, but more so the kind of repercussions from it. I'm
Right.
thinking a lot of like Reservoir Dogs.
Yes. You see the
Goodfellas,
aftermath.
yeah.
Totally.
That kind of vein.
Yes.
It's definitely more of a character piece than like an actual crime movie.
Right.
Yeah.
My problem with it was, you know, you could tell it was solidly written, solidly acted. Colin Farrell and Gleeson, I forget his first name already, the ugly Irish guy. Brendan.
It's the easiest. It's way easier than Dom
Hall. You could tell that they acted really well, but it's such a meandering movie where a lot happens, but not a lot happens, where it almost fails to captivate me and the audience.
I agree with a lot what you guys are saying, even in my notes here, like, as far as things we
You have notes?
I have notes.
Jesus H.
I know. Shut the up, I'll murder you both. I have it noted down here that there's not a lot we can talk about as far as like cinematography and editing because it's very straightforward. It's a lot of single shots, a lot of two shots, everything you said, it's very dialogue driven.
Right.
It's very traditional, kind of like
Very
cinematography.
traditional.
Yeah.
Not even a lot of establishing shots. If
No.
you think about it, the characters are in them each time.
The cinematography was just your average good cinematography. There was no sneaky, fun, different shots. It was straight up, here's a establishment shot with their character, here's a close-up of their face because it's an emotional moment, here's a wide shot of them doing coke with prostitutes and midgets, so there's not anything that you're just like, wow, this movie, wow.
It's really straight down the middle. Like it's nothing really special, but it's the whole like atmosphere of the movie really kind of puts it all together, I would say.
The director of photography did a great job, but he did a great standard job.
Yeah. This definitely is Colin Farrell's movie.
Yes.
Out of everything, you were saying down the line, and I cannot agree with that more.
Yes.
Everything. I'm even tempted to say that Colin Farrell's performance is pretty down the line. As great as it is, there's nothing spectacular about this movie.
What actually is the defining part of this movie is that Colin Farrell, who before this was a pretty shite actor, that's Irish for he actually had a really good dramatic performance in this while still being his typical Colin Farrell self. His delivery was great. You could feel his emotions in all of his scenes, and it actually felt like he tried, where before this, he was in very typical movies as far as I remember from the early 2000s, he was just an average
action actor.
Exactly, and it wasn't anything, he wasn't spectacular. It was just...
He's a guy that's in movies, you recognize him, but...
Put a picture from Daredevil here.
Bullseye! Or whatever, I don't know, whatever hand he
just did the
yeah. But, I mean, he really brought his A game on this, and it kind of was reminiscent of Matthew McConaughey, how he turned out around his career, I think, with Dallas Buyers Club, or the movie right before that. I feel like Colin Farrell really made a name for himself as a serious actor within Bruges.
I don't take him seriously.
Oh.
I still think of him as they're after me, Lucky Charms, Irish man.
Oh.
Give me a gun, I'm gonna blast some stuff. I'm more of a Gosling guy.
Gosling with the same look in every movie.
Hey man, it works. Works.
Brooding. I'm a badass white guy, and I'm just brooding.
This guy loves Batman. I just want everybody to know that he loves Batman And if he's gonna complain about white people brooding.
That is one
Hashtag
character.
shame Horatiu.
Batman broods.
As we were coming back.
Gosling broods in
Let's bring
every
it-
movie, no matter the character, okay?
Batman broods for life. Bringing it back to this dialogue-driven piece. There is an overarching event that kind of defines the movie that you're alluded to, but you're not shown.
Until about halfway through.
Yeah. We're just gonna go right into spoilers. I'm assuming this movie is 10 years old. Colin Farrell shoots a kid.
Yes.
Right in the dome piece.
On accident.
On accident.
Unlike Matt when he's playing Red Dead Redemption.
Which is on purpose.
Yep.
He goes right for the kids.
Back in the head. I don't know what is more problematic of that scene is the fact that the kid gets shot or the fact that the priest gets shot.
Well, yeah.
And I like how the writer, who's also Martin McDonagh, kind of presents that situation. If it's like, oh, well, obviously you kill a child, it's a horrible thing, but killing a priest, I feel, is equally as bad.
Well, I think in 2008, wasn't that when everything was coming out about the Catholic Church? Around that point?
It was before.
I think it was like 2004, 2003, around that time.
I feel like it was like around 9/11.
Well, there was a lot of bad feelings towards priests, and I really think that the perception of priests changed dramatically before this movie. So a lot of people thought priests were real creepy, and they would pay
And we
to
also
see
don't
one
know
killed.
what the priest was killed for. He could have done some real shady.
Exactly.
And he was a great actor too. Syrian Hines. That's Albus Dumbledore's brother, and oh God, what? Mance Rayder from Game of Thrones.
See, that's the problem with a lot of these like heavily European movies is that every actor is going to be either from Harry Potter or Game of Thrones. There's no real like market for actors across the pond, apparently.
Yeah, and actually, the main bad guy, Harry, the boss, was Ralph Fiennes, Lord Voldemort. So that was Mad Eye Moody and Lord Voldemort's first,
And he's got his Fantastic Beasts money.
Oh, that's right. I
So they're
forgot.
all
all from Harry Potter. In Bruges.
in Potter.
Yeah.
For a movie that does kind of say this is such a fairy tale location, I noticed they didn't really take advantage of it that much. There was a lot of interior shots, not a lot. There was a couple bits of city exploring, but not a lot of like.
I thought that was
location setting.
intentional, just because the story is Ray's story, Colin Farrell's character story, and he hates being in Bruges.
Hates it.
So I thought that was a way that they used the cinematography to kind of put you in his mind, where they just showed you, what you see from his mind's eye. They do, when they follow around Brendan Gleeson, his character, they do show sweeping shots of the city when he's up in the bell tower, when he's walking around and appreciating the art. When he's there, you actually do see some shots of the city. But yeah, you do wish you saw more of Bruges.
And that's actually something I noticed in the movie that I thoroughly enjoyed was the difference between the characters. Colin Farrell didn't want to be there at all, and it really showed.
Yeah.
Whereas with Gleeson, like, he was very excited to be there, always wanted to do stuff, but, the one time he went and did stuff, he missed his phone call. Well, guys, this has been a great, interesting discussion, but unfortunately, I feel like it's time for commercials brought to you by the government.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Welcome back from our state-sponsored public service announcement break. I wouldn't call this a black comedy.
There weren't many jokes, but definitely like the whole aesthetic and like just the characters' interactions with each other, I would say is a lot of black comedy.
But does having witty characters
They play off
make
violence
it a comedy?
they play off like major violence, like killing a kid and like somebody committing suicide in a comedic way.
Yeah, I mean, it is done in less dramatic fashion
Yeah.
than you would expect in like a drama piece.
But I wouldn't call like the scene where they shoot the kid, like I wouldn't call that a comedic scene.
No,
but the
like,
whole interactions afterwards of
Yes.
like his whole like persona and like his mindset after killing the kid is quite comedic.
I wouldn't call it comedic. I'd call it erratic.
But before we find out he has killed a kid, and you have no idea why they're there, and he's sitting there, you know, in Bruges, like, you know, it's funny listening to the banter between Gleason and Farrell, and finding out that, you know, Gleason's like this older man who's like, you can't appreciate the nice things in life, you f***. And then you're like, yeah, why can't you appreciate the nice things in life, Colin Farrell? And then, oh, because his mindset is wrapped around killing a child on accident. So he probably could appreciate Bruges if he didn't just kill a kid. I know it'd be hard for me to take in the sights after I just capped a kid in the dome, so... or maybe not, you know, maybe I'd just be like, yeah, all right, business as usual, moving on. Let's go explore a castle and, you know, find a girl and, you know, fall in love right away.
And then blew her boyfriend's eye out with a blank.
Yeah, whatever.
He was asking for it.
Do 5 grams of cocaine with prostitutes and a midget.
1 gram.
1 gram.
Oh, with the midget, you're right, with the midget and stuff, they probably did more than 1 gram.
That was my favorite part. The little person, the dwarf. I don't know.
I did not know where that was going.
I've had
through
a
the
lot
whole
of,
movie
like-
right until the end.
It was
I've
a
had
beautiful setup.
Yeah, I've had a lot of like encounters with little people lately, so like I really appreciate that in my life.
What are your encounters with little people?
Like I just
are you
see
tossing them?
No, I just see them everywhere. Like, all right, so it started on the road, and I was at the grocery store getting some breakfast, and I just saw one. And I was like,
What was he buying? Like
it was a
stool?
manager. He had a little tie. Horatiu, let's talk about the midget.
I thought, I mean, like, the introduction of the midget was weird because you're like, well, this is...
Why is this even in the movie?
Why is this in the movie, exactly? But where they go with it is actually pretty masterful. You know, the midgets in the movie, or the dwarf, I don't know what we're supposed to call them. Insert the right PC term here.
It's not Peter Dinklage.
It's not Peter Dinklage.
Not Peter
no,
Dinklage.
but I feel like I've seen that guy in other things before. But they introduce him as just a part of this movie that's being shot in Bruges. And you're like, oh, okay, that's awkward. Why are we doing, like, why
Colin
is...
Farrell's just fascinated by
Yeah,
this
right,
little
he's
person.
laughing his ass off.
It's me.
It's literally you.
Yes, yeah, in the movie. Yeah. But and then they party with the midget or the dwarf and his prostitutes, and they do coke with him. And then when Harry, Lord Voldemort, is chasing Colin Farrell through the streets trying to kill him, because that was the plan all along. They wanted to kill him for killing that kid on accident. And his first job, mind you. He shoots Colin Farrell at the end, and the bullet passes through Colin Farrell and blows apart this midget's head. And Harry...
The midget is wearing a schoolboy outfit.
Right. The midget is dressed at this moment in a schoolboy outfit, little child outfit. His head gets blown apart, and Harry thinks that he just killed a kid and blows his head off.
Because of principles. He's trying to kill Colin Farrell for killing a kid.
I want to know if this entire movie was made just to pay off that joke.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Perhaps. I mean, that's a lot of scripts start with that little kernel of an idea. But again, it's masterful because you have no idea when they introduce the midget that the midget is going to play a very vital role to the story and to the demise of all these characters. Mm-hmm. And, you know, at the end of the movie, Brendan Gleeson's dead. Lord Voldemort is dead. Colin Farrell might be dead, presumably dead, because they just fade to black like
his thieving girlfriend is alive.
Yes, his thieving girlfriend's alive. Her ex-boyfriend is still blinded in one eye, so his eye is dead. But
in typical British movie fashion, everyone dies.
Exactly. Yes. What I had a problem with, though, is I didn't like their persona, their personification of Americans. I thought that was extremely, extremely rude.
Yo, I don't know if, like, we don't get it, or, like, if this movie is as witty as people say it is, or if we just don't get it because we're American, or if we're American so we think it's more witty than it actually is because it's, like, foreign.
Sure. I just meant I don't like them calling us elephants.
No, I don't like that either.
That was a giant dig at
I don't
us.
like being called a Yankee, especially by a bunch of, you know, people that are going to block our TV show.
But I feel like even that's played off as a joke. Because early in the movie, Colin Farrell beats up a bunch of people because he thinks they're American. Then they turn out to be Canadian. And then he's like, oh, dang it. I feel bad about that now.
Well, I think he felt bad
because
because he's going back to Bruges.
Insert that clip from Team America.
Right there.
You're welcome, Europe. If it weren't for us, you'd all be speaking the Deutsch right now. I want to talk some jingoism. Let's talk some jingoism.
To tell you the truth, I am kind of annoyed that Dan suggested this movie in the last episode.
I am too.
Not because it was a bad movie. I thought the movie was good. It's just, I don't know.
Very out of character for this show.
Very out of character for the show, and there's not a lot to talk about. We can't, I mean, without telling you the entire story, it's basically one of those movies, just go watch the movie and form your opinion based on what you see.
And I'm pretty sure, like, if either of us were, like, super into this movie, like, you know, Dan probably is, we could probably talk about it for a lot longer, but I mean, like, there's not really much to talk about.
I agree. So, like, seriously, f you, Dan, from all the way over there in LA, forcing your ideals and telling us what to do.
What are you guys gonna give this out of how many whatevers?
You know, I like this movie. It's not really my cup of tea, but it's good. Like, it's really just, it's a real, like, weird, like, middle ground for me, but I'm gonna give it, like, 3.5 out of 5. Brendan Gleeson hitting the ground.
And that's what I was gonna do. 3.5 out of 5 Lord Voldemorts. I thought the movie had great dialogue. The cinematography was, like we said, was standard. It was just a good film, but again, not how I wanted to spend a Sunday night, bored slightly out of my mind. So, thanks, Dan.
I'm gonna give it 3 dwarves wearing business attire. Just cause, like I said, yeah, it's a good movie. It's just, I find it average across the board.
Yeah, if you're willing to take some time out of a day that you're bored anyway, watch In Bruges, it'll make you a little less bored.
We're gonna go to commercial again so that you can be made aware of things that are affecting the world. Check out these public service announcements brought to you by the state of Michigan and the Federal Communications Council.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to The Take from our government-sanctioned ad break. Horacio.
Yes.
Cue the song.
Mailfern!
All right, guys, we got some letters.
Singing this song.
Let's split this up. We got me, that's Doormat. We got Hitler, that's for you.
Is it?
Yep, and we got the whore, that's for you.
I think the whore might be for me.
No, I believe.
Not this week.
Not this week yet.
I will gladly be the whore.
And then it all play.
Hitler. You know I'm part Jewish, right?
Yeah, okay. Hitler, start
I'm
it
going
off
first, yes. Question from Danny Danuker. Would you rather kill a kid or a dwarf dressed up as a schoolboy? Well, Danny, that's pretty easy. I would rather kill a child.
Kid. It's the easy answer to that.
Yeah, it would be bigoted to kill the dwarf based on their stature, so I'm shooting a child. There's a far larger number of children in the world, and there's only a finite number of dwarves.
Alrighty. Brian Mills asks, you have a very particular set of skills. Who would you go after to kill and how? Everyone.
Like the entire world?
In every way. All 7 billion of you.
I think this was for Matt.
Well, it's not discrimination if it's everybody. If I'm killing everyone.
Yeah, but Hitler was really into killing a lot of people.
Specific people.
That's true.
I want everyone.
So Stalin.
No, once again, specifics. Everyone.
Second episode.
Everyone. I'd kill everyone, and I would do it in every way possible, whether that be strangling them with a garden hose, or whether that be burning their throats out with bleach, whether that be gouging their eyes out with a spoon and then pouring battery acid into the hole.
It's really his ultimate like creative fantasy.
Here's a list of all the ways that Matt would kill people of the world.
Yeah.
Just pause it here for a little bit.
Oh man, you know these fluorescent tubes? I'm gonna give you the fluorescent tube powder and tell you it's cocaine. All right, mother.
All right.
The whore.
The whore. So Al Capone wants to know, you're a leader of a gang. What illegal doings would your gang be doing? Probably similar to Matt, you know, just be doing anything that we really can. Laws are out the door at that point if I'm in a gang.
No, I'm not talking about doing whatever I can. I'm talking about killing indiscriminately. That's criminality. That's different than just killing indiscriminately.
Yeah,
because I'm not like selling drugs. I'm not like whoring out prostitutes. I'm just killing.
Okay.
And not for money, not for fame, not for glory.
Just for fun. So would you like to revise your answer, or are you sticking with anything?
I'm sticking with anything, you know?
Sticking with
I got to
anything?
run a business at that point, so you just got to do whatever makes a profit.
All right, I'll play.
Nice catch.
That was a good catch.
We got an athlete on our hands. The sweetest youth is an athlete. F***ing right.
The writer-director of this film, Martin McDonough, wants to know, who would you marry, kill between Colin Farrell, Ralph Fiennes, and Brendan Gleeson?
You know, Colin Farrell, marry Brendan Gleeson, and kill Ralph Fiennes.
See, I think I would marry Lord Voldemort because, you know, ultimate power. I'd kill Colin Farrell because, you know, he's prettier than I am. And I think I'd marry, Brendan Gleeson because I'm all about that red hair.
Why not both?
I thought that was because of your daddy fetish. I would no one, I would marry no one, and I would kill everyone.
Matt's just, he's scared of homosexuality, so he's not willing to...
It's not so much scared of it, it's just, you know, it's the point.
There's 2 points.
Exactly. So, as is Mailfern tradition, to pick the next movie, we have to have a challenge.
Oh, no.
All right.
And
if you threaten us with a knife again, you're no longer the host of this show.
Don't tell Matt, he can bring out a gun.
You know that.
I'm not threatening you with a knife.
If you pull out
but
a
I
knife...
figured this time, you can do the robbing.
Jesus Christ.
He's still gonna rob.
You can do the robbing, and then we all win.
What are we supposed to rob?
A liquor store, Starbucks, bank, post office. I don't give a
Chick-fil-A.
Just bring back the money.
Is this a real gun?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. Don't check nothing. Just plop it back.
Jesus.
Hands
Put your
up.
hands up.
Hands up.
Hands
What was
in
your
the air.
suggestion gonna be?
The Dark Knight.
I'll say The Dark Knight too.
You can't just copy me.
I am copying you. Dude, he has a gun
Kill
pointed
him
at
first, okay? Because he's the one that he...
We're gonna watch Batman Forever.
The classic Batman Forever. All right. Is that Joel Schumacher?
Yes.
All right.
Great.
Is that the one with Mr. Freeze?
Me. No, isn't that Batman and Robin?
Wait, hold on. I do want to watch the one with
That's Batman and Robin, I think.
What do you want to watch?
the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, I think
That's Batman and
Batman
Robin.
and Robin.
Batman Forever's
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, yeah.
And we'll watch that one. Batman Forever. If you can punt somebody, they're adorable.